I'm gonna get teary-eyed just thinking about it. It was a really good time. I really enjoyed this vacation. It was really, it was very enjoyable. I love the accommodations, like I said, at the campground. It really saved us a lot of money. Hotels are very expensive. We were so close to everything. The only time we had to travel very far is if we wanted to go to a beach. Everybody's so friendly down here. It's just amazing to see. Good morning, it's July 6th, it's after 8. We just finished checking out at the ranger station at Lake Louisa State Park. Day 1, driving from Florida all the way back down to New Brunswick, Canada. On the first day, we won't be driving this full 17 hours like we did from New Brunswick to Pennsylvania, just because we have a later start. When we started driving to Florida, we got up and we were heading out at 5 a.m. So it's a 3-hour difference. Now it's after 8. So we have the GPS set for Jacksonville, Florida, so that we can make our way out of Florida. And then from then I'll be putting in coordinates for the GPS, different cities or towns along the way, so that the GPS doesn't route us to the I-95, because a lot of times it will try to do that. So Google gave me a great suggestion about just chunking up our travel and plugging in the cities so that it keeps us on the snowbird route I-81. So we'll connect to the I-26, onto the I-77, up to the I-81. So we'll see where the first day brings us, about 12 to 13 hours later. And of course, we'll be stopping off at Buc-ee's again when we get when we get to Virginia. David just had a smirk when I said that. He's over there. But yeah, we'll be stopping at Buc-ee's again for sure. I really liked the maple cherry beef jerky, so I need to go get that again. And I don't know, we'll see, maybe something else as well.
Lots to get.
There's a lot. Yes, there is a lot. There's lots to get. That's it for now. Here's a little update. So we left the state of Florida and we're in Georgia now. And previously I put into my GPS Lake Louisa State Park to Jacksonville, Florida. And I realized that once we got to Jacksonville, Florida, the GPS was trying to bring us downtown, obviously, so I had to do just a quick little revision on the GPS to go from Jacksonville, Florida to, I had put in my GPS Orangeburg, South Carolina. And that way there it'll keep us on track on going to the I-26 and then eventually the I-77 and then the I-81. And I'm just thinking back to when we were coming to Florida, we had stopped in Orangeburg to eat at the Cracker Barrel, and it was great food, by the way. And the iced tea, I love the iced tea, the taste of it, where it's like just sweet tea. You just add for extra sweetness. It's really good. But yeah, it just reminded me when we stopped there coming to Florida about that man that paid for a meal, and it was quite emotional for me. I started to cry. He didn't know the price. He just took the bill and he paid. But it's not that he paid that made me cry and very emotional. It's what he said, you know. He was very, and you know, I don't know his name, but I'll never forget him. Just because of what he said, that the world needs more of this kindness, and just how much he hugged my husband. So here I go again. Anyways, so yeah, that made me very emotional, and I'll never forget that man. But anyways, I did plug in the GPS for Orangeburg. So yeah, that'll keep us on track. And like David was saying, we have a lot of time to have conversations, and sometimes there's quietness in the vehicle, reflecting and whatnot, or just keeping our eye on the road. But he just said, like, just kind of out of the blue, when we were like in Florida heading to Jacksonville, he was like, you know what, we never once paid money to eat at a theme park. And he's like, you know what, we never really spent any money eating out at restaurants when we were in Florida. And I said, no, I mean, we could have, but again, this is a budget conscious vacation. Therefore, why we're driving, why we stayed camping, and why we have a tent trailer.
I was just going to say about the camping too.
So we ate well. We did buy chicken, like a whole fully cooked chicken at Walmart on the Sunday, and that lasted for a while. And we bought one potato. We barbecued the potato. We brought all our seasonings from home, so it was delicious. And anytime we wanted to reheat the chicken, we just kind of threw it on tin foil in the barbecue for a bit. I did take some of that chicken and made myself a chicken salad sandwich anytime we went to theme parks. David opted to have, well, there was a theme park where he still had sandwiches from traveling to Florida, and we kept it in a cooler so he would eat those sandwiches to theme parks. But then we come to realize that it's very hot in theme parks. Some theme parks don't allow you to have ice in a cooler. So when we started going to Disney, Magic Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios, I believe, we just started packing peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and that hit the spot. We also brought like fruit. We had apples, we had cherries, plums, bananas. I even bought a pineapple and cut that up. $2.99 for pineapple. We can't go wrong with that. So we did things like that. You know, we had chips. I had my rice cakes from home.
Trail mix.
We had chocolate bars. We had crackers. So we just did things like that, just to save on money, to be budget conscious. But I guess that's the update for now. But it's just a thought in our head, and I just thought I'd share it on this vlog. It's almost 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're on the I-26 headed towards Charlotte, North Carolina, heading on to the I-77 after that, and then the I-81. I have my GPS set for Charlotte, North Carolina, but that's not where we're going to be stopping. We're going to be going further. So at some point I'm going to be putting in a different destination that's further than Charlotte, North Carolina. I just do these little points along the way and add them to the GPS, just so that the GPS has a guideline of what to follow, so it's not always trying to bring us back on the I-95. So I have an update. So after just kind of looking on Google at different hotels and different stops along the way, small little towns on the I-81, I decided to put the GPS to Roanoke, Virginia, to stop for the night. And the GPS shows that we're 3 hours and 51 minutes away from there. So we'll be entering Roanoke after 8 o'clock in the evening. So that'll put us a good like 12 and a half hour day for the first day. And where we left at 8, that's pretty good. You don't want to be driving too late at night. I mean, who knows with the Interstate 81 and these small towns, are gas stations open late? I mean, it's hard to tell. So far that's the plan. Who knows, it might change, but we do have our GPS set for Roanoke, so we'll hopefully have a hotel off of the Interstate 81, because I also Googled how far is Roanoke, Virginia off of the Interstate 81, and it shows us about 10 to 15 minutes off of it, which is not bad, but where we're going home, I'd rather not travel too far off the highway, but if we have to, we will. We've seen some people who traveled from Canada to Florida that stayed in Roanoke. We watched her series of driving to Florida and back, and Roanoke looks like a really nice place. So, but yeah, we'll see. Who knows? That's it for now. We're around Charlotte, North Carolina, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. As you can see, we're running into a little bit of a traffic. The GPS said there was about a 9-minute, 7-minute, now a 2-minute delay. But still, the I-77 is much better than going through the I-95, because there's much bigger cities and more of them on the I-95. You got to go through Delaware, New York, and a few other big cities. And I mean, sometimes you're at a standstill on the highway. So even though we're moving slowly, it's still pretty good. So David and I were seeing these signs: Billy Graham Parkway, Billy Graham, I think there was a library. So we're wondering, is Billy Graham from around North Carolina? So I decided to Google it, and he is. He was born on a dairy farm near Charlotte, North Carolina. So he had a humble beginning on a dairy farm. So that answers our question about the Billy Graham signs. A lot of times it takes two people to navigate, so I just turned it off for a second. But yeah, we're on the express lane now. Very, very convenient. And looks like it's about 2.5 miles of this. I'm loving these express lanes. They just bypass a lot of traffic. It's the congestion lets up and you just go straight on through. And we got this. It's hard to see this SunPass Pro in Florida, and we made an account, and it's good for other tolls as well. Here's another update. So I did put Buc-ee's in Mount Crawford, Virginia, as our next destination after Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's well over 6 hours away from here. That would leave us to driving till about 10 o'clock tonight, which, I mean, is fine. But I don't want to enter Buc-ee's at 10 o'clock at night when I'm exhausted. But David came up with a great idea. He was like, "What?
Why don't we just sleep in the Buc-ee's parking lot? Drive 6 hours, sleep in the parking lot."
Yes." So then I thought to myself, Buc-ee's should make a hotel. Anyways, as you can tell, I'm exhausted because I'm laughing over nothing. But yeah, there's the update. So we don't know where.
We don't know where we're gonna stop for tonight, though.
We have no idea.
We'll find a place to camp for the night, or stop for the night, not camp.
Find a hotel somewhere along this route. So yeah, we don't know where we're stopping. I'm exhausted. What he said. It's all fun. So that's it for the update, and we'll figure out where we're gonna stop, and then we'll let you know when we know. These pictures never do anything justice what you're seeing with your eye. But we're in the Shenandoah Valley, and look at how gorgeous that is. We've just passed Salem, or we're passing by it now, and we're nearing Roanoke, Virginia. We're about 13 hours on the road. By the time we get to Roanoke, it'll be a little bit longer than that, but not by much. So it was a good estimate that we were going to be on the road for about, I said, between 12 and 14 hours. So 13 is pretty good. I'm tired. David's tired. We started late this morning at 8 o'clock. So we knew we weren't going to get very far today. But, you know, from Florida to Virginia, I would say that's pretty good.